What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode. Well, episode number 2 of A List After Dark. I am
I'm
your girl, Angie. Yes,
back.
look who's back. I am your girl, Angie, aka Angie's World, and I'm back with my boy Kev Pryor in the building.
What's going on, Angie? LeBron James, the radio game, the most electrifying man in media today, and I'm joined on Angie's World, Planet Angie. I have landed 2 days straight.
That's what's up, man. You see, I got my Hugh Hefner robe on today.
I have noticed that.
Trying to, get into the aesthetic.
I make you horny.
Listen, I'm an Aries. I love red. Hugh Hefner is the Aries. He loved red. He
He lived a lot of other things too.
he was such a boss. He lived the rest of his life in pajamas and silk robes, and I guess I could be the I don't want to say the female Hugh Hefner, but the female boss where I could live my life in a red silk robe. I want to get to that point.
Hey,
but
we
for now,
were just talking offline a way that might be possible. So
absolutely. But for now, I'm going to live my life in a silk robe on A List After Dark. So
there you go.
Welcome, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share, and be a part of the A List. So, wellness check, Kev. How was your day today? How you doing before we get into these topics?
Today was good. You know what? I'll share this with you a little bit. It's kind of crazy. I had the most wickedest heartburn. I haven't had heartburn in years. I mean, years. And like today, for whatever reason, I had to go get Tums. I haven't had Tums in years. But
did you take any like Motrin or pills or anything? Sometimes that could cause like a stomach, like it like feels like an ulcer or something.
Nah, I don't know why. I had I don't know. I didn't even eat anything. I had some nuts, peanuts, and all of a sudden, like I just had this violently
like
heartburn.
acidic feeling.
Yeah, like what is wrong with me? But I'm good. Landing on Planet Angie helped me get back to normal. So the day was good. But any day above day is a great day. So
absolutely, thank God. And so we over here, we're gonna talk about some hot topics. Yesterday, we spoke about the Will Smith snuffing. Well, he didn't snuff, he slapped Chris Rock.
The bitch slap.
Yeah, he definitely did. And so today is a lot of carryover. So the first thing I'm gonna do is we'll go into Will's family speaks out. Did you see what his mom said?
I did.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. Right now, I'm gonna play it for the people. I'm a be Miss Producer right here.
You're doing it all, Angie.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let me go ahead and find. I think this is it. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
I bet. So his family speaks out. Can you see it?
It's loading.
All right, bet. Can you hear the audio? Oh no, that's not it. That's not what I want to play. I don't want to play this. I want to play Will Smith's mom. Here we go.
It surprised you too, huh?
Him.
Let's start from the beginning, y'all.
Even Will's mother admits
Can you hear it,
was
Kev?
surprised.
He is a very even people person, and that's the first time I've ever seen him go off. The first time in his lifetime.
It surprised you too, huh?
It did. It did. As I said, I've never seen him do that.
Will Smith's younger sister Ellen says she's watched her brother constantly excel under pressure and under the spotlight of Hollywood.
Everybody has been bullied, and abused, in some kind of way. And I totally understand. It's like people are like, oh, I wish I was in, such and such shoes, and oh, those are my goals and everything. It's like, but you really don't know what it takes to get there. And I've had conversations with him, and it's like, it really kind of broke my heart listening to the things that he said he had to go through to get to where he is.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep. When your mother and your sister said they've never seen you act out like that. And Will Smith is not a Hollywood rookie. This guy's been in Hollywood over 30 years and been the spotlight for over 35 from Jazzy Jeff days. That says a lot. And that's telling a story when you start peeling the onion back, and every day we're going to start seeing more and more and more stuff come out. But when your mother says that and not afraid to say it out in public, it's saying two things to me. Number one, she's saying she's concerned about her baby, her son. Number two is saying your environment is making you act this way, which is a direct bullet on Jada, because if this is something I've never seen, a loved one, a close loved one's never seen you lash out like this, it's saying that it's not about the joke,
Right.
It's not about the situation at the Oscars. It's cumulative, it's buildup, and we've seen what we've even seen in public with the entanglements and all that. There's probably a ton of other stuff going on that nobody knows about. So I think again, and I know if my mother would have said that, it would be like, okay, yeah, you need to check yourself, but it's also saying your environment or the people you're close to are not helping you be progressive and are helping you in this downtrot that you're dealing with.
Absolutely. Celebrities continue to speak out. Well, his family spoke out. Howard Stern spoke out. Let me see. Did you hear what Howard Stern said?
Yeah, I did. I listened to Stern.
I don't even think I have Howard Stern's, but basically he was saying, like, where was security? And they just continued to let the show go on, that he should have been escorted out because of that. And the more that I think about it, the more I'm like, damn, he did that and really got to sit back down in his seat and continue the rest of the show and win an award, and kind of like went to the after party and partied. Like, can you imagine if that was Kanye West that smacked Pete Davidson, or if that was anybody in that audience that assaulted someone? Like, he alluded, like, Trump gets away with this stuff, and Will Smith, it's basically like the same person. Because you're Will Smith, you got away with something like that. And in a way, it's kind of dangerous that but first of all, I think if it was anyone else besides Will Smith, they would have been escorted out. And I also think if it was a female, like Kathy Griffin, she was basically canceled for a joke of beheading the president. You physically assault, like, I keep trying to like replay it again in my mind, and I'm like, damn, he sat back down and then got up and got his award and proceeded to have a standing ovation. Like, what world do we live in? Like, they have to do something about this.
Well, you're hearing now that the Academy is looking into it. I think at that time, everybody was shocked. You're talking about a situation that's unprecedented. This doesn't happen. And yes, there is security, but you're talking about the creme of the creme, A-list, people who are close. This is not like the Grammys when you have, regular fans and that are in close proximity. So there was nobody there. The word on the street is that they did think about removing Will.
I heard that.
I think again, it's all optics, right? You think about the fact that, hey, you know what? This is a black man. This is a man that's probably going to win Best Actor. It's a lot of things going on. I think, again, the part that's disturbing is that he did the act, sat down.
Right.
Nobody checked on Chris. I mean, I think Denzel did, but nobody really. It was all the emotion was about Will. Then Will gives this speech really justifying the fact that I had to slap this man half an hour ago, and justified it with his speech. So, again, when you come out the next day, we know that that's pressure. We know that's PR at work. That's the spin cycles happening. But the Academy's probably going to have to do something. I don't expect him to be back next year. They're going to have to, because they're going to get pressure. They're going to look foolish. They're going to have to do that. Chris Rock starts his tour on Friday in Boston.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that Chris Rock, his sales are skyrocketing since this.
Right. Well, again, people now want to see how he acts. But again, you think about this, Angie, and we're two people from the Bronx, right? So you think about a situation where somebody humiliates you. Now, part of the people who want to check out Chris Rock, because Chris Rock's a funny individual, but this has now made people start to say, well, how is he going to react? Is he going to make jokes about Will? Is he going to go nuclear? Now, it did come out today because yesterday we reported that Chris Rock's camp Chris Rock had apologized. Chris Rock came out today and said that's not him. That was his camp. So,
that was his camp, right?
And I'm happy he pulled that, because if I'm not choosing sides, but if I'm looking at it from a Chris Rock perspective. You slapped me. I didn't talk about your wife's condition. I made a joke about how she looked like G.I. Jane. It wasn't about his wife. And knowing that possibly he didn't even know that she had that condition makes it all worthwhile. And it tells me that, when you think about Will and Jada, the world is not circumference around you. Just because you had it on Red Table Talk and you put on your Instagram and Twitter don't mean everybody's checking for you. I didn't know. And I do a show every day, so I'm up on this stuff. I didn't know she had that. So maybe Chris didn't know. I know at one point in time, Rock and Smith were very close. Probably not the case anymore. But obviously, I'm glad Chris came out and said, no, I didn't put out no apology. And I'm not apologizing, which makes it very interesting Friday night in Boston. How is he going to do that show? Because it's going to come out. And I'm sure with Chris Rock's talents, it's going to be entertaining.
1 second, Kev. I'm trying to... Hold on 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, y'all. I'm new to this screen sharing stuff, and I want to show y'all something real quick.
Take your time.
This is what Jim Carrey had to say.
Did it load?
You there? I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm learning this. Yo, was it just like nothing?
Tutorials on the fly. No, nothing popped up on the screen.
Okay, y'all, give me 1 second. I was playing the Jim Carrey thing. I'm so sorry, y'all. But you know what? By episode 3, I'm going to be, on on point. But you know what? Just rock with me.
She's going to do a show teaching people how to do it on their platforms.
Absolutely. All right, so I'm going to play Jim Carrey's reaction. Did you hear that?
I did.
Kev? Okay.
I did.
I'm going to play this real quick where Jim Carrey is at. Give me one moment. 1 second, y'all. I don't understand why this is. Maybe I should stop doing this.
Well, obviously, he came out again. Jim Carrey is, at one point was really huge in Hollywood. But still has a name, and he obviously came out against the situation that happened.
Would have been escorted out by security, or maybe even arrested. The police asked Chris if he wanted to file charges. They asked Chris, "Do you want to file charges?" And
I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse, and it really felt like, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
there was some question today about if anyone else had walked from the audience and done that, they would have been escorted out by security or maybe even arrested. The police asked Chris if he wanted to file charges. They asked Chris, "Do you want to file charges?" And Chris apparently said no.
I was sickened by the standing ovation.
Wow. What you think?
I mean, obviously, look, I agree that the standing ovation, 30 minutes fresh, was telling. But then I'm not surprised, right? We look at our country over the last, I say, 6 years, from our president that, former president that, did some things that necessarily everybody doesn't agree with, to way our politicians move, to way our TV shows are, nothing but reality shows that, are all about fighting and disrespect. What did we expect? You know, what do we think? I mean, do we think that because somebody's got a couple dollars and some fame that all of a sudden they're gonna, act differently? You know, you are who you present yourself to be. And again, I'm not necessarily saying that's Will Smith. I'm just saying that's society.
Yo, I'm telling you right
yeah.
now, Kev, if that was anybody else besides Will Smith, it would have been a wrap. They would have been escorted right the F out of there. Because here's the thing. I get that they weren't prepared, but at the same time, this is not your first rodeo. There were thousands of Oscars shows. There has to be security there for unruly people. There has to be a team of people that are able to crisis management a situation. There had to be somebody that just springs into action. I would have immediately removed him from the ceremony.
I think again, if you look at the pictures after the slap, Chris Rock has his fist ready to go back. So something in his head stopped. If he throws the punch, then I think you hit security. Now, I also believe that Will Smith knew exactly what he was doing, because you don't hit anybody and then turn your back.
But the balls to do that and know you're going to get away with that during the Oscars, and the way he just was so cocky, so arrogant, and not only on top of that, but was allowed almost as if, even if security could have came and tapped him on the shoulder and escorted him quietly outside into his limo, and they could have gave him his Oscar there. Because if it was anybody else, that would have robbed them from the moment. It was almost like Will Smith just got away with that, and
it's almost like a form of privilege. Like, what? I can just slap you in front of a global audience, turn my back, go sit down, and then have this tearful acceptance speech, then go get jiggy with it at the club afterwards. I mean, it says a lot. And
audacity.
Right. And I'm hearing a lot of people today, as the aftermath is still going, like people are saying, well, Will Smith was squeaky clean. I mean, even when he was a rapper, he was
unproblematic.
Parents don't understand, he was never controversial. The TV show, the movies, it was never controversial. This is the first time in his life. That's why when we prayed earlier, his mother, when your mother is saying that,
right.
Normally parents or close family members or good friends, if they know you got issues, they don't put that out there. They go, well, hey, we'll have whatever. His mother's saying that. That to me is a dog whistle to say, hey, you know what, this man needs help. And maybe, again, Hollywood, is a crazy place. And I'm, again, like I said yesterday, I'm not here to cancel Will Smith. I don't believe in that. I just think that sometimes people have bad moments, but sometimes a bad moment can last a lifetime. Ask Ray Rice that question, the former football player. Sometimes one bad moment can change your life. And I'm not saying he didn't kill anybody. Obviously Chris Rock didn't press charges, but still, perception in Hollywood, it's all fake anyway, right? These perceptions of people and who they are. We don't live with these folks. We don't know how they are. And I think, again, the veil was kind of pulled off Will a little bit, and that's not good for his image or his brand.
Right. But I'm taking it like the way my mind is thinking. I'm taking it outside of Will. It's more of what his action is doing to the future of this world. Like the OG Aunt Viv, she spoke out and she was like, champion him, basically saying like, sometimes you gotta smack. Did you see that? What Aunt Viv said? Sometimes you gotta smack somebody. And a lot of times most people in this world, and this is no offense to anybody, and it's definitely no offense to my A-listers that's watching, but a lot of people are sheep. You understand what I'm saying? And they champion toxicity. So this is going to open the door for a floodgate of what is to come, like the behavior that's going to come. And so like you already got Aunt Viv speaking out. Sometimes somebody got to get slapped. And I feel like this is going to open the floodgates up to violence. I think what's going to have to happen, and I'm going to let you go because I see you got something to say. I think what's going to have to happen is the Oscars are going to have to make an example out of Will, that this is not tolerated, because I think if the world watches him get away with this, we have worse to come. at public events from celebrities and from people. You know, it's almost like when the George Floyd situation happened and you had all those looters that took advantage of a situation. It's like, oh, Will could do this. Now it's just going to be every man for themselves, free for all. I kind of feel like it's kind of like the example that you set. So I feel like, you know, when they canceled Kathy Griffin for doing what she did with Trump, it was making an example out of her. Like, you disrespect the president, we taking your career. It's like, okay, you assault somebody on stage and then you get away with it. What you think is going to happen? Most people is going to champion the toxicity and then be sheep on top of that. So that's kind of where I'm just like,
Well, I'm not as nuclear as you on that one, Angie. I do believe that when you think about the Ann Vibs and people who are siding with Will, think about it. The man just won Actor of the Year for the Oscar. He's a power play in Hollywood. He's producing shows. He's involved in shows. He's got lineage and communication and reach everywhere. If you're an actor, you're not going against Will Smith today. You know, because you're trying to work. Do you want to be the next Monique and get blackballed? No. But look at the people who came to Will's defense. Denzel Washington, Tyler Perry. That three right there is so. Aunt Biv, yeah, baby. Smack him up because Aunt Biv trying to keep a gig or be able to work when she wants. That's
and they not realizing that they actions is setting an example to the public.
They don't care about the actions of the public.
That's
because,
the thing.
Again, it's Hollywood. It's me. It's about, you know what, perception. We had a situation years ago with Pee-wee Herman. He was talking to kids, and all of a sudden we know what Pee-wee Herman was doing behind the camera. So Hollywood is not real. I think what people need to learn is that we need to stop celebrating false gods. We need to start looking at these people as, oh, they're so great and they're so talented. Charles Barkley once said, "I'm not your role model." And you know what? That's so true when it comes to Hollywood. Enjoy for what they do. Look what Bill Cosby did. Bill Cosby was America's dad. And who knew what Bill Cosby was doing on the low? So But
you see, they made an example out of Bill. Like, you do that, it's going to catch up to you. And, you know, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, they might have gotten away with it in their decades, but they want to be punished for it. If Will walks away from this scot-free and nothing happens to him, we're going to see somebody else get assaulted at an award show.
Well, Bill's situation, we had to do another show on why they got at Bill. I'm not even going into that. We had to do another show on that. I don't even think it was about even what he went to jail for. The situation with Will Smith, can it be a powder cake? Yes, but you know what? That seal's already been broken, Angie. That situation's already happened. We got Kanye West threatening people on social media. You know, we have rappers who are getting killed for the most minute things. The seal has been already cracked. All Will Smith is showing that to the people who felt like Will was that guy that, you know, obviously was that role model and the People's Choice Awards and Nickelodeon. It just shows that he's no different either. That's all. It's like, okay, you might have thought it was just this guy or that one. No, it's all of them. So again, I don't see it being an issue. Will's going to sit down with Oprah. Or he's going to sit down with somebody. He's going to cry. Been crying a lot lately. And he's going to have one of these interviews and people going to forget. The one thing about America, I've realized this being in advertising for 20 years, that everybody loves a great story. And Will come out and say, I've been under a lot of pressure, family and my kids and, you know, Jada, you know, losing her hair. And by the time it's all over, they'll forget he even slapped Chris Rock and they'll be like, wow, he's the victim. Because that's how it played out Sunday night. He was the persecutor, right? 25 minutes later, he's the victim. Oh, I'm like Richie Williams. And so this is Hollywood. These are professional actors. This is what
so crazy.
Do.
But you know what? We gonna get back into Will before we get up out of here, definitely. But being that you brought Kanye up, look at this right here. All right, look, Kanye and Kim attend state soccer game together, peacefully co-parenting.
Right.
Look at this. So now Kanye with his I got some things to say about this, but I love to see a family together. Right. You see that he's with his kids. You see that he's with Kim. He's seeing his kids.
Kim is my queen. Listen, the man deserves to be with his kids. And I mean, obviously, I really don't agree with a lot what Kanye's doing, but I do agree with him. He deserves to be a father. He deserves that right. If he has a problem with his daughter putting on makeup and TikTok, he deserves the right to be able to speak his mind and that be respected. I get that part. The part I don't like about what Kanye's doing is the stalking, is the veil threats. That's not healthy because it's bigger than Kanye. Like we see, it's bigger than Will. It's not about these guys. It's about the normal guy who lives in Chicago, LA, or Cleveland, who has a girlfriend or a wife they're separated, but he just can't let go. That's the person and the people I worry about, because those type of behaviors can turn into things that become very deadly. So I just want to see him be a father, continue to make great music, continue to do the things you're doing. Just don't, again, put that out there. Because number one, it's bigger than you from a global perspective because he puts his business out on social media. And also, you got kids. Your kids don't need to see you doing that.
Yeah. All right. So this is what I want to say. I got a lot to unpack with this. All right. So, yeah. All right. So I have a little bit of a different take with the Kanye situation, y'all. I do think that when he was going on his rants, I do think that when he was going on his rants about her playing games with his leisure time with the kids, I was on his side. Yes, he may be able to go over there and take the kids to school because that's helping her out. You're coming there 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. She doesn't have to take the kids to school. You're doing that. But when you want to put them in certain schools, or forget even the school, when you want to, have them ready for Sunday service in the morning, and then you let North, extend her trip to a sleepover, and you send the other kids and say, oh, North can't come. And you know what I'm saying? When he's excited to have, North at his mom's basketball tournament, or take all 4 kids somewhere, and you want to start playing games on the weekends and send 3, or send the 2 younger ones, keep the 2 ones. I kind of feel like she was antagonizing him and playing a little games with that. So when he was, when he was getting online, and again, this is just my opinion, but when he was getting online and he was, sharing those grievances, I feel like at first he was using, public platforms like Instagram and Twitter and such like that, to air out his grievances. But I think what Kanye didn't realize is that when the biggest influencers in America want you to be quiet, they have all the connections and the power of the world to shut you up. And I think that, they knew that if Kanye kept going, it was going to hurt their image. And they have every connection in the world to keep you quiet. And so when Instagram banned him, and you didn't hear a peep, we haven't heard a peep in almost 2 weeks. And now we see the family together, and paparazzi has pictures of them smiling and everything. I believe the Kardashians have the power to make anything that they want happen. Kylie and Travis uploaded their story of the baby. You know how they just had a little boy? Right. They uploaded their birth story to YouTube, and YouTube personally was in the comments. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing this, Kylie. Everybody, this situation with Kanye West made me realize everybody is at their beck and call. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TMZ, even down to all the publications are kissing the Kardashians' ass. Kim Kardashian went on Ellen DeGeneres and told her that Pete Davidson has 3 tattoos of her on his body, and one of the tattoos that they've only been dating for a few months was her name branded on his chest. And you know what Ellen said? Oh my God, that's so cool. The Kardashian has the world in their hands. So I believe this was a no-win situation for Kanye, because we talking about the cream of the crop. At the end of the day, him running his mouth got him banned from the Grammys, got him banned from Instagram, got him when the Kardashians want you to be quiet, they got everybody in their little they're like the puppet with the puppet master. They got everybody to do what they want to do. Why? Because they're at the top of the food chain. And that's how my mind goes. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with you on that. I think the whole thing, when you think about just like, peeling back the young, and these are still people that this man is going on social media to have to see his kids now, or like to go to parties and stuff like that. Now, yeah, I agree. The Kardashians have friends
They
in high
got it
places,
all.
but I think Kanye needs to play chess, not checkers. And what I mean by that is that there's a way of playing the game. Kanye is not like a pauper either. He's got a reach as well. Maybe not as big as when you collectively put the Kardashian machine against him, but he's definitely got a reach. But what Kanye was doing was acting irrational. And let's face it, I'm an African American male. Okay. Well, whatever you want to call Kim is perceived as a white woman. All right. So from a standpoint, when you're putting that out there, and this is why I agree with him when he made the comment about, parents are not, male fathers are not given the same respect as the mothers. But when you put that out there to an audience that then now tries to take what you're putting your narrative and tries to make your narrative into their narrative, the TMZs, the CNNs, and all these other,
Right.
news outlets, they're not going to look favorable on you. So when you got to play this game, you got to play this game with some strategy. I think now he's starting to do that. Like the pictures that just came out. He looks like a great father. This guy at the camera, his daughter's right next to him, who looks just like him. Is right next to him. It's again playing chess, not checkers. Because again, the Kardashians necessarily might have the machine, but the reason why Kanye got put out is because of the irrationalness and not so
And
much.
also the machine helped propel that narrative, because even the publications, I was watching them and I was like, all the narratives of all the publications were on her side.
Because
they have the world in their hands.
But
when
that's
it comes
because, Angie, not to cut you off, that's because, again, they spun the narrative like this guy is crazy. That's what, anytime somebody's got to come out on media and say, I'm not crazy, I'm not crazy, I'm not crazy.
No, but do you understand all the behind the scenes relationships?
Yeah.
They all have relationships with them. So when the writers were coming out, they were putting Kim, take the high road, Kim, take the high road, because not only was the media siding with the Kardashians, but all of these platforms also, because if you think about it, Instagram, Twitter, all the publications, just to have the Kardashians on their platform is like, they're like, thank you, beck and call. Like, do you understand the influence that these people have? So when you have YouTube personally in your comments thanking you, the YouTube account is Kylie, thank you for choosing our platform to upload. You see what Beyonce does, right? Every time Beyonce want to drop something, www.beyonce'sworld or whatever it is.com. You understand what I'm saying? You see her on social media, she don't follow nobody. What Kanye West want to do, if he really want to talk and get his narrative out there, purchase a domain, get your own platform, and put your stuff out. Because at the end of the day, if you want to run your mouth, you're not going to be able to do it on these public publications, because Kardashians got these publications in their back pocket.
But you can't run your mouth and be irrational, because again, that's why I'm saying play chess, not checkers. If he would have spun it from a situation where, hey, listen, I'm a father, I have kids, it didn't work out with my wife, which happens in this world every day of the week and 10 times on Sunday, and I just want to be a father. He would have got some sympathy. He came across,
I think he did that.
No, but he came across as an irrational man threatening the new boyfriend. Again, when people look at these things, right, and we think about social media, we talk about people who look at it and they try to perceive themselves as being Kim, which they can't, but they try to put themselves in these positions. So they'll say, wow, you know what? I had a boyfriend or ex-husband that did the same thing. And, he was threatening and he was menacing. I don't think Kanye got to that point, but again, it's bigger than Kanye and it's bigger than Kim because the people, just like these social networks know, when it comes to public opinion, they want to go live vicariously through these artists. So when a woman says, "Wow, Kim is just like me," I got an ex that's stalking me where I can't move on. So yeah, Kim became the victim. If Kanye would have put the situation out there similar to what we might laugh at, I mean, we might look at him in a different light, similar to what Will Smith did on Sunday. They
Yeah.
flipped the script.
That
in
was
30 minutes.
irrational. That was irrational. And if
Right.
that was Kanye West, they would have locked him up in a mental institution and they
Right.
would have threw away the key. So we already know that Will Smith got privilege because of
Right.
his relationships. We know that the
But
Kardashians.
that's also the PR machines that maybe Kanye, who's really likes to be hands on, but that's how fast a PR. I mean, being in advertising for many years, that's how fast you can do it. You got the right people. You got the Olivia Popes of the world. That's how fast you can spin a narrative, and the Kardashians got that.
They got everything. They got the world in their hand. Well, like I say, I don't know, what I'm saying? I was always like, the Kardashian and Kim's #1 fan, but like after this situation, I just felt bad for Kanye and, the issues that he was having with, and he wasn't right in everything he did, but I did feel like she was playing a little games with his kids, and I did feel like she silenced him and whatever. I hope they're getting along now, but I don't.
Just for the kids' sake. I mean, I think again, he's got to just put Kim in his rear view mirror.
Right, exactly.
Kim is going to go with this guy. It ain't going to last long. He'll be the next one complaining because obviously Kim Kardashian must got some diamonds in her coochie because everybody goes crazy. I don't know what it is, but everybody's going crazy about this woman. And the reality is that, this has been great for Pete Davidson's career. I don't even find Pete Davidson funny, but hey, that's just me. But the reality is that his star has risen where, but in 6 months she'll be off to somewhere else and he'll be and they'll forget about him too. He'll be Chris Humphries 2022 in a few months.
Yo, shout out to Kanye and Kim. All right, so what you guys see at the bottom of the screen, 4th COVID shot authorized by the FDA. Let's get into this real quick. Give me one moment because I'm gonna pull this up. Give me a second. Here we go. Can you see it? Let's get this together.
You're getting better, Angie. You learn.
I'm getting better, man. All right, look. Officials say everyone over 50 could get the 4th COVID shot, but especially important for high-risk people. So this is going to be the second booster. A second round of booster shots was greenlit for everyone over the age of 50 by the public health officials on Tuesday, kicking off the regulatory process for shots to be likely be available in pharmacies this week. Everyone 12 and older is already eligible for a booster shot 5 months after their initial vaccine. But for those over 50 determined to be a vulnerable age group, officials at the FDA have decided on the data of wanting immunity justifies making another shot available 4 months after the first boost. All right. Yeah. So basically that's what we're doing. People are due for another booster.
Yeah.
What you think about that?
I know on the record, just for clarity, we're both vaccinated and boosted. I did, it's funny. When I saw this, just because I saw the age numbers, like, because something I got to think about. I said I started doing some research, and I did see another doctor who I read periodicals about when it comes to COVID, mentioned that if you're gonna take the 4th booster, the second booster shot, the 4th shot in general, do it toward as an outbreak happens. Right now,
right,
thank goodness our numbers are very low. So, I took my booster, I think it was in February. So from a standpoint, I guess if we're looking at what these numbers are saying, it would be available for me like in June. But
right.
I wouldn't take the second booster unless we had another outbreak. And that's what some of some of the doctors that are in the know are saying. Also, again, if you're healthy, if you're a healthy individual, you're somebody who exercise, eat right, you necessarily don't have a pre-existing condition. That's something to, you don't necessarily have to get the booster. But again, listen, I'm probably on the side of the fence where, you know what, I'm gonna do everything I got to do to survive. I know there's people, and probably people who watch this show who are not pro-vaccine. That's cool. I gave that up New Year's. I said I'm not asking anybody what they're doing. Just be healthy and well. But I
Right.
am somebody who believes in science. I don't believe the conspiracy theory that they just want us to get more shots because it's about money. No, they offer a flu shot every year. So again, if people are saying this is the flu, why wouldn't this be available every year? So again, I mean, do what's best for you. I just again tell people, be smart. Don't just listen to the internet. You know, they listen to us on the internet. Be smart and
Right.
make the best decision for you and your family.
Absolutely. And shout out to my girl Des. She's a scientist. She lives in Texas, and she's been working on the COVID-19 situation.
Salute to her, yeah.
Yeah, salute to Des. And she told me this a year ago. She said, just like your flu shot doesn't last the rest of your life,
Right.
you got to get boosted every year for the flu shot.
Right.
Before they even offered boosters for COVID-19, she said after we did the flu shot and she was working on the virus, because the virus mutates, is the reason why we were taking the boosters.
Right.
So if the immunity of the boosters is only for 6 months and we're still dealing with COVID-19 a year later, yes, we're going to have to take another booster. We're going to have to keep taking boosters probably every 6 months to a year until this is gone. So
and
yes,
I don't think it's going anytime soon.
So yes, this is the 4th shot, but it's boosting our immunity for a disease that is still there. The only vaccination, this is not polio where you're going to get vaccinated, when you're born and it's going to last you the rest of your life. These vaccinations, you lose immunity. So we're in year 2. Okay, we got to take another booster. All right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes sense to me, but yeah, I don't have an issue with it. If I got to take a booster every 6 months, I got to take a booster until this is gone.
I'm with you on that. I don't have an issue with that. Like I said, I'm somebody who's wealthily healthy, but I'm an asthmatic. And in the past, if I caught a head cold, it can get ugly.
Right.
So I haven't caught COVID, thank God. And I'm trying my damnedest not to ever catch COVID. So I'm gonna do the right things. But again, like I said, each person has got to do what's best for them. And if you're not about that life, I get it. But just be safe, wash your hands, wear masks, even though the mask mandates are off. Be smart when you're in crowded areas. If you're gonna go to the club and different things, be smart. Social distance. Don't be in somebody's face. Unless you're trying to take it home, and that's another situation. But nevertheless, be smart and be safe.
Kev is crazy. Kev, did I disappear from the camera for a second?
No, you're good. No.
Okay, I was still on camera.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bet, because I actually wanted to go into this. Give me 1 second. I wanted to go into this story real quick. We got like 2 more stories, y'all. I want to go into this. Did you hear about this story? Give me 1 second. I'm about to pull it up. All right. Look at me. I'm getting better. I'm producing.
Learning on the fly. You're a quick study.
I'm producing out this motherfucker. Yo, before we get into the story, y'all, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Y'all like the video, y'all share the video, become a part of the A-list. Hold on 1 moment. Let me get up out of here. All right, check this out. Did you hear about this? I'm just waiting for this to load. All right, 2 young cousins, they died while playing with guns during live stream. Did you hear about this?
No, I didn't hear this one.
All right, so Karan Harvey and Paris Harvey were live on Instagram around 2 a.m. when a gun that the younger child was playing with went off and killed her cousin, right? Mm-hmm. Now, a pair of young cousins are both dead following what cops are calling a murder-suicide that was live streamed in a St. Louis birthday party. Karan Harvey, 14, and Paris Harvey, 12, were live on Instagram around 2 a.m. Friday when the gun went off and killed her cousin. She was playing with it. The younger one went off and killed her cousin. Now, this was on live, prompting her to shoot herself. Police initially described the deadly incident as a murder-suicide, but their family says it wasn't so. It was no murder and it wasn't a suicide. It was a freak accident. She said the relatives who saw the video said the pair was too hip when the shooting happened. Basically, it was a situation. It wasn't a situation where they were arguing. They were playing with a gun when they shouldn't have, and of course they shouldn't have been doing it. It just went off. It went off by mistake. She said the two were at a birthday party for younger family members, and they went to the bathroom to film in front of the mirror, and tragedy happened. I'm not going to play the video. I have not seen it, but other people have seen it. And basically, you supposedly like see the girl drop, and then you see the other girl. I guess she panicked and then killed herself after that. Allegedly, the family is saying allegedly that it was a freak accident. The cousin died, and then she went to go pick up the gun, and then she died. But
oh god,
yeah,
it's so sad. I mean, again, I understand people in different states. We're in a very gun sensitive state, but I know people around the country in different states. If you're gonna have guns in your home, and again, it's not to preach anybody, but lock your guns up, keep them away from kids. This probably was a festive event. Two cousins that obviously were friends, and they went on social media, and they didn't come out that bathroom, and that's unfortunate. And my heart and condolences go to that family. But again, for people who have guns in their home or have guns for whatever reason, just lock them up, keep it locked away. A gun should not ever be available or at arm's reach to a young person. Just keep them away, and it's that's
absolutely
so sad. That destroys so many lives in this case, and two young lives that won't be able to grow.
Absolutely. When my coworker told me today, I was like, yeah, I heard about it, but I knew right away. I was like, this had to be in a different state. I was like, what state is this? And she was like, yeah, it was St. Louis.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I know that a lot of other states, because like you said, we're in a heavy no gun strict, like, New York don't play that, but there's a lot of other states where
there's been so many guns on our streets. It ain't like it's you would never know, but again,
but it's not as free, right?
Right. You can't, I mean, in other states, you can walk around with your gun on your hip. And it's not a problem. And I think again, like, St. Louis, Missouri, is another part of the country that's had a high crime rate. So it's just, hey, listen, if you're gonna have it, but be smart about it. Lock up the gun. Take the bullets out. It's things you have to do, and it's just obviously for two cousins, and it probably was somebody at the party. It probably was able to go on a counter or in a closet and just be able to reach the gun. And obviously, if it's a bullet, I never forget really quick when I was a kid. My father had a firearm, and I remember as a kid, like 7, 8 years old. Thank God the gun wasn't loaded. I'm trying to squeeze the trigger. You're a kid. You don't know any better. I was kind of a smart kid because he had a stash box, and I found the key. Now my behind got lit up that night, and rightfully so. And I never went back to that box again. But the reality is that if you're gonna have these weapons, you got to protect them from kids and realize kids are inquisitive. They will find ways similar to I did as a young person. But you got to just, it's just.
Or you have to be responsible, because if you live in a gun lenient state and you're licensed to carry, then you need to do like what some of these cowboys be doing with their kids and teach them how to use the firearm from the time that they're babies, so they're skilled. You have people that live in certain states that their whole entire family are skilled with guns from babies to adults. You need to like be responsible with the firearm, keep it in a place where the kids aren't able to get a hold of it. But also with a dummy gun, you need to be able to show a kid how to operate it, take the kid to the range. And if you're going to have something like that in your house, everybody in the house should be aware of what's going on. And it should never be a situation where you're just lackadaisy with it, leaving it around like that. That to me is insane. But rest in peace, to those girls. I think it's just a sad situation. We're going to leave it on a happy note, but I just wanted to touch on one more situation real quick. One more sad little news story, and then we'll go into some happy stuff before we get up out of here. I'm sure you heard about this story right here. Give me 1 second. All right. So I'm sure you heard about this. The teens who fell to his death in a Florida amusement park was turned away from 2 other rides. Did you
Yeah,
hear about this?
I did. I did. And this one kind of hit
Yeah,
home to
it
me
says
because I used to work in Ride Playland, for those who don't know, it's an amusement park here in New York. And I used to run the Dragon Coaster. And when I heard this story, it just like, so another tragedy.
Yeah, it hit you. Let me just let me just read this real quick to them and then we'll talk about it a little bit. All right. So Tyree Simpson fell Thursday from the free fall drop tower, which takes riders up 430 feet and then drops to the speed of 75 miles per hour, according to Icon Park in Orlando, where the incident happened. It says the teen who fell to his death from a amusement park ride in Florida last week said he was turned away from 2 other rides in the park because of his size, according to his cousin. Shay Johnson spoke up with the 14-year-old Samson by phone just before he got on the free fall drop tower at the park, a CNN affiliate, News 13. He dropped Samson off at the park. He told him he wanted to ride the swing. He said, okay, ride it twice, ride it for me too. He called me back about 7 minutes later. He said, I'm too big. They said, I'm too big. I can't ride. So yeah, he was like 6 foot something, 300 and something pounds.
Right. Yeah, it
But
was a big hit.
what's so crazy is that I saw a story today that was saying that they examined the ride and it looked like the seatbelt was still in its place. So that to me sounds a little weird.
Right.
I'm just trying to find. It says the accident is still under investigation. No criminal charges are filed, but the investigation remains open. Icon Park on Monday said it's demanded that the Slingshot Group suspend another of its rides at the park. I mean, I don't know. Like, this is just insane. So go ahead, Kev. What were you talking about? Ride Playland? That was like my second home when I was a teenager. Ride Playland.
Yeah, no doubt. My happy place as well. I mean, again,
I went there so much as
Yeah.
a teenager that I was sick of every ride. We knew as a teenager, we went there so much. We knew everybody who operated all the rides, like all the ticket takers. We were there so much. We were so sick of everything in there. But that was my spot when I was a teenager, and I went on everything from the gravity, the thing that spins, the gravity one where you're like, attached to the wall like Velcro, and you go all the way up and you're upside down, and then the slingshot, and they had like the pirate ship, and I went on all that stuff. But go ahead, go ahead.
No, it's just that obviously when I heard the story, again, another crushing situation, but there are size restrictions and height and weight. Again, the people who monitor the ride are supposed to make sure everything is locked before they start the ride. Somebody obviously dropped the ball there, because if he's that big a kid and I guess from the height and weight, they felt he could justify going on the ride. He still wasn't locked in. I mean, again, God rest the dead. Did he not see the lock? Because I know, like, when people go on rides and they strap you in, you test it yourself. Now, as a young man, go out, again, like I said, we can't unfortunately turn back the hands of time, but there had to be some faultiness, whether that was he got locked in, and then when he went in the ride, the lock or the strap loosened up.
It probably popped. He was probably too heavy. And usually the people who are the takers and stuff like that, we're not going to sit here and act like every single person has passed a responsibility test and they're the most responsible people. When I used to go to Ride Playland, 9 out of 10 times, it was teenagers that was summer youth that were taking the tickets for the rides.
I was one of them. I know. Yeah, exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? I think it was lack of judgment. He was probably too big, too heavy. And when the thing went upside down, he might have ripped off. Like, who knows? You understand what I'm saying?
If I could guess, that's probably what happened. And
allegedly, we don't know. I'm just saying. I don't want to get us in trouble.
No, we're just we're just saying that if they felt like, okay, his weight. I mean, they don't have a measurement in most of these rides. They have a height piece, so they felt like, all right, you know what? If an adult can get on, a big adult, he was like a man child, he can go on. But obviously, that's probably, if I can guess, what happened, and that's just so sad.
Absolutely, man. Kev, I know you got your sports show, right?
Yes, I do something on Clubhouse with my brother Terrell Jones, formerly of the San Francisco 49ers. We do Not Your Ordinary NFL show every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on Clubhouse. So, anybody who wants to talk football, it's probably the biggest and best football conversation on Clubhouse. We just had Pierre Garçon last week, former NFL great. And we're working on some other people, part of the Pro Sports Network. So big shout out to Candy Conda and that group that put me on, which, was able to, find her, and she saw some of the stuff I was doing with the fumble, and it just kind of metamorphed into a Clubhouse thing. And that's how we connected. So, big shout out to people who do that and the great
Absolutely,
things that
yo.
Apple got.
Definitely. I don't want to keep Kev here all night, y'all, because I know he got to go do his show.
And you got to get to bed.
Yes, right? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But listen, y'all, go tap in with Kev. He's at 950 Kev. Follow me. I'm all things Angie's World. Y'all already know everybody's information is going to be in the description box. I had a great time at A-List After Dark episode 2 with Kev. Thank you so much for tapping in.
You, Angie.
Y'all make sure, if you're enjoying this, you subscribe to the channel, Angie's World. I'm doing an A-List After Dark, but I also have, my podcast that comes out every Sunday where I'm interviewing people. I have the Ladies VIP, and also stay tuned because I have a new series coming up, and I think y'all really going to like this. So please share this video with as many people as you can. Please don't forget to subscribe if you mess with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do more of these A-List After Dark. I want to do these at least 3 times a week. Kev, you can come anytime you want. Every day, if you want to do it, you're more than welcome
you want
to
to
come.
have me, I'm available for you.
Absolutely. Is there anything you want to touch on or say before we get up out of here?
Again, just start your day off with the best team in radio, 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern, 950 Lounge, the best team in radio, led by yours truly on multiple networks, Rough Riders Radio, Backstage Radio, and so many other outlets. And also, for those who don't get up that early, who are still living in the COVID days and don't have to get up and go to work, you always catch 950 Lounge on podcast, Apple, Amazon, iHeart,
everywhere, all streaming platforms.
Thank you, Angie. Wherever you can.
Yes. Yo, again, tap in with 950 Kev. Tap in with me. All our stuff is going to be in the description box. You guys enjoy your night. You could be anywhere in the world, but you decided to be in Angie's World. And for that, I love y'all. I'm going to see y'all real soon. Subscribe to the channel. Be a part of the A-List, baby. This is A-List After Dark. My name is Angie. This is Kev, and we out, y'all. 1.